guest that is the only person below White Holiday in the ComicsGate phone book. It's my favorite failed clone of Peter Sameti. The YouTube WyzGyz. How you doing, Connie? Welcome to the show.
Hello. Welcome to WyzGyz Entertainment. This is your host, Wyman. We are joined today by our special guest, John Dillard. How's it going, man?
It's going good. I hadn't seen that before. I was enjoying that.
That's me trying to get fancy.
That's great.
Welcome, Beyond Time. What's up? Good to have you, John.
Beyond time.
Yep.
Beyond space.
Yeah, beyond space and time. So how's crowdfunding comics work treating you?
It's treating me well. I'm meeting a lot of really fun people. I met your friend Red Valkyrie. I went on that show.
Oh my gosh. How was
that show is great. It's super fun.
Isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
That'd be so cool. Yeah.
It's very structured and put together and professional.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they allow you to do whatever you feel like doing.
Uh-huh.
But it's really fun. There's a ton of people that I've never met in CG.
Oh yeah.
A bunch. I even found out there was something called like CG UK.
Yes. that clip in my intro is from CG UK.
Yeah, I was like, what is that? Like CG light? That's like a CG low fat? What is that?
It's CJ ComicsGate in the UK. They've got a bunch of creators and properties who are active in the community, and they release their own books as well. And they're like teaming up together to build all of their channels.
Yeah, it's really cool what they got going on over there.
Yeah, so they've even got they have regular meetings together, so they can discuss who's doing what on which show, what topics they're covering, and then a bunch of them will come together on like specific channels and segments. And like they did this really crazy fun thing. Like a lot of streams are done on Comic Mark's channel. I think that's the current channel they're trying to get monetized next. And it was like a mystery theater kind of thing, where it was a whodunit. Each of them played a character, and you had to figure out who the murderer was, and you had the inspector who was kind of guiding the investigation.
Really?
It was pretty trippy. Yeah, they do some really fun stuff.
I don't mean to be like an old lady or anything, but I do have a blanket that I'm trying to cover up with. It's so cold in here.
Is it? Yeah, it's been pretty chilly out here.
I got like, I don't know if you see this orange glow coming from over here.
Yeah.
These are candles.
Are they really? Oh my god!
I'm actually trying to like warm my bones with these candles. It's so cold.
I thought it was going to be one of those space heaters that are.
I wish I had one of those. Mine broke. I haven't gone to the store, and it's really difficult for me to buy things off Amazon. Because you're not there to see and feel and see how big it is, and they give you the product dimensions and how many BTUs or watts it uses.
Yeah,
I can't figure that stuff out. I'm not a rocket scientist, you know.
Yeah,
I don't know how to convert BTUs to actual warm fillings on my knees.
There's a lot of stuff that I'm okay with ordering online, but when it comes to clothes, especially shoes, I just can't do over the internet because of the whole needing to feel it, needing to touch it, check it for quality, and the sizing especially.
Well, shoes are a very sensitive and personal thing.
Yeah,
I think even if they get everything down really dialed in, with that kind of stuff online. Shoes are going to be one of the last things to go, you know, because you really need to try on shoes and do that sort of thing.
Yeah, and I don't really like the whole mentality of, oh, well, we offer this return policy if it doesn't fit. It's like,
no, you give me a return, and you also give me money back for wasting my time to return these things.
I'm trying not to waste the extra time to have to return it back to you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome, Fade.
Welcome.
He says, I thought the candles were mood light.
Well, they are, but that's for after the stream ends. That's for
turn on the berry white. Are you finding crowdfunding your own book to be like stressful, anxious, exciting, nerve-wracking?
Oh yeah, all that stuff happening in my gut. You know, whether you're excited and you can't sleep, or you're nervous, or you're riddled with fear and anxiety on how much you're gonna make, what you need to say when you're on a show, that sort of thing. All of that stuff does hell on your stomach. No matter what it is, it always affects your stomach, no matter what. But it seems like it's gotten a lot easier now. The thing is, when I first started streaming on YouTube, it was really hard for me. But I've been doing it now for 3 years almost.
Wow.
And it's gotten to the point where I don't feel uncomfortable anymore being live or talking about stuff, especially with the Buckler. The book itself, I've been doing it and been talking about it for so long. It's basically just having a regular conversation with friends, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't get that feeling anymore. Now there are some times when you do have opportunities. Like yesterday, I was on Malin's channel, and I've been trying to get on there for a while. Even throughout the whole time that I was in pre-launch, I've been trying to get on there, but he's been being very spotty with his, ComicsGate Presents. It's been a real long time. And finally I had that opportunity, and I was sitting there writing notes as to what I was going to say when I got on, which is something I hadn't done in a long time, like actually thinking about what I'm going to say before I just pop on somebody's stream.
Cue cards.
But, I was writing notes about what topics I wanted to make sure I covered and all that stuff. But I kept getting distracted because Sketch Therapy and Ethan Van Sciver were fighting in the chat, and I was reading what they were writing.
I was watching some of that. It's like, oh man,
it was hilarious, but it was distracting me. I was like, I gotta write this stuff down. You guys, you calm down in the chat. I'm trying to figure this out.
Oh man, yeah! Congrats on making it to Malin's channel.
Dude, the Buckler went over 5,000 sometime last night.
Nice.
So we're now at let me check. I think it's $5,036.
How many backers do you think you got from that show?
Oh, I can check. Let me check. I
just out of curiosity.
It looks as though from that little 5-minute spot that I got from ComicsGate Presents. What was the time? It looks like I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 backers. No, 6 backers.
Man, nice.
Yeah, right.
That's cool.
That's quite a show he has over there, man. I mean, that show is it's a well-oiled machine.
Yeah, absolutely. It's good exposure. It's a good channel.
Yeah, it is.
And, that's pretty sweet that you crossed the 5,000 mark.
Yeah, I'm very happy about that.
Yeah. When you set the initial $500 flex goal, did you have any concerns that you'd have trouble funding it?
No. I mean, I always have concerns. You always have concerns about how much it's going to fund. But I didn't have any doubt that I would make the 500. I have enough people that follow me on my YouTube and Facebook and Twitter that I figured I could at least make that, because the book was going to get made regardless.
Yeah,
whether I funded it or not. I mean, I'm not exactly rich, but I'm not broke either. I can afford to put the book out myself. But I really want to get this thing. I really want to make it worth my while, essentially, because I spend a lot of time. I go meticulously over every single panel, and I treat every panel as a cover.
Oh
you
yeah,
know?
yeah.
So I really tried to get it. Like this panel you're looking at right now, where he's kind of putting on his glove
Mm-hmm.
and he's saying essentially, "Let's rock," like Al Bundy style.
Mm-hmm.
He's about to get to a big scrap.
Yeah.
That's just a panel from the book that I just blew up and put it right there as the cover piece. And I take a lot of real intricate time to get everything just so, you know.
Yeah,
So,
that's really badass.
and I think it actually helps because there are some people who I don't know who they are at all that have backed the book. I don't recognize their names. I don't recognize them from the chats. And when I look at some of the metrics on there, because like, you know how YouTube has metrics like where things come from.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
A lot of these people that backed and they're digital backers. Some of them are people that just are you know, browsing
Nice.
Indiegogo, you know.
Yeah.
And not a lot, but at least 8 or 9 of them were people that were just browsing Indiegogo. And I think because I took the time to make the artwork as good as I could, that they were like, okay, this actually looks kind of cool. Don't know who this is, don't know where they're from, don't know what CG is, but let me back this book, you know? That helps a little bit.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, every time I look at this campaign, it keeps getting better and better.
And I got a whole bunch of new artwork that I've been working on over the past month that when I got 14 hours left.
Yeah.
And I'm considering extending it another 30 days.
What do you mean considering? What's with that crap? What do you mean a tease? The answer is yes, I'm definitely extending another.
Thinking about extending it another 30 days. I'm not sure.
I love the fact that when you were introduced on Malin's show, he was talking about how excited he was about talking about your book, and then you were kind of beside yourself for a moment because of the intro.
And he says, "Oh, now we have up here the legend." I was like, "What?" Because I've kind of been in the same circles as Malin for a while, right? Like because I think I've been in CG even before Malin. Because I know that I used to be in talks with Zach behind the scenes that I was going to be working on the Jawbreakers, the first Jawbreakers book. And then when Malin got let go from Marvel, Zach picked him up. But the thing is, I wasn't ready, to be honest. My drawing skills in comics were abysmal. I had barely started practicing. And I wasn't ready for that book. Malin was. He came in and killed it, you know? That was a fantastic book. But after that, I kept harassing him like all over the place. Like I've just been harassing him. Like, when Malin first started doing the drawn and quartered with Mike Miller, I was constantly in our chat harassing him, talking about how I'm gonna eat you up and spit you out. I'm the pro slayer. I'm better than all you suckers, you know. So finally, Malin was like, "Well, come on, get on here then and let's see what you got." So that's when they started doing like bringing in the fans.
Yeah,
like once a week. I was the first one because I was harassing him with super chats, you know. And then I got in there, and when I got in there, I beat everybody. You know, I won. And it wasn't because my drawing was the best. I was just in there talking shit on the pros, and people were like, "Oh, this is so fun." You know?
That's funny. That's so funny.
But he's been really nice. He's been really supportive, and he's been like every now and then when I'm doing live streams, I'll pop in and talk, or sometimes he'll just like actually come in and hang out for a while.
Cool. Yeah, and he said that he extended an invite for you to return to his show for the second 30 days.
Right.
So that means you must extend.
Yes, I'm going to. I might take a nap a little later. And then if I get up and I still have time, then I'll extend it. Or I may be like one of those people that takes a nap and never wakes up in time.
You better not pull that crap. Valkyrie, welcome. Good to have you. Good morning, Wise and John. Buckler made $550 last night after the show. Haven't done the math yet today.
It did.
Do you see that was composed of about 6 backers?
No, that was after Malin's.
Okay.
Like yesterday, I went on Red Valkyrie.
All right.
With Shay, and after that, about 4 hours later, I went on Malin's.
Oh, okay.
Now, after Red Valkyrie, I started seeing movement in the campaign. As soon as I went on Valkyrie show, I think I got 4 backers.
Oh wow.
And then I think one more backer came in, like the 5th one, but that was before I was on Malin's show, but it was not my turn yet.
Yes.
So that was probably still from Shay's channel. You know what I mean? Like that bump. So it's been going really well. Those channels are powerhouses.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they kick ass.
And what's really cool is that I meet them, right?
Uh-huh.
I met Shay, I met Sai.
Right.
And then like I'm recognizing these people's names in the chat, but only like tertiarily, I guess. Because there's so many people in CG that like they all have different groups.
Yeah.
And like this group that follows Red Valkyrie essentially have no idea who I am. It's weird because I've been doing this stuff I've been doing this comic book stuff for like 3 years. I've been like doing live shows and stuff, and I've never met these people. It's so weird that this thing has grown so large that you can be here for so long and still not have a clue who people are.
Yeah, I know. I actually, as many creators as I have on my channel, I still rely on others like Red Valkyrie and John Malin and Mandy Summers and Charlie's London to hear about books that I may otherwise not hear about. And as someone put it, if you compare the CG books out today versus a year or 2 ago, it's easily 4 times as many books out there.
Oh yeah, and not only that, the quality has bumped big time.
Yeah, everyone's bringing their
like when CG kind of first started over here on YouTube, like you could count on your hands how many books that were out there that you wanted to back, because there were a bunch, but they were all not there yet. You know, they were all looking really, really poor in quality. Now it's like I'm looking at things like these the Sovereign Wolf stuff. What's that other one that has that 3 robot picture in his advertisement?
Robert.
Yeah, and the artwork looks phenomenal on that too. There's I look at them. There's one about like alligators and bears that are fighting in the colonial times. I saw that. That looked really War Party. Yeah, that looks super dope. There's everyone you look at now. It's like everybody stepped it up, right? Like the competition just got real stiff, real fast.
yeah, and yours is out there with them too, so that's pretty sweet.
I hope so. I'm trying real hard here, WyzGyz.
Red Valkyrie says, how are you this morning? Beyond time. John says, I'm doing well, enjoying the CG goodness. Oh, and bro, set your alarm clock.
No, I'm actually gonna right after I get out of here, I'm gonna go and set it up and extend and all that, and I'm gonna start throwing up some new artwork to make the campaign a little more full, a little more robust, you know, make it look fancy and full of life.
Nice. Yeah. I know Red Valkyrie says, I know, really? Well, I have work to do. Just wanted to stop by and congratulate Maple Syrup Man on his success. Wise alike. Thank you so much for coming by. Welcome, Eric McIntyre.
Hey, Eric.
Hey, peeps. Long time no see. It's been a while. How's it going? The art on the buckler is amazing. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. CG expectations are high now. That's a fact.
And that's so much better. I remember there used to be people fighting all the time because we would talk about what is CG, and CG is about the customers, and if it's about the customers, should we support books that aren't 100% pro tier? You know?
Right.
And then it was a whole bunch of stuff, but now it's like that's all that stuff kind of fell back to the wayside because the majority of things out there now that are coming out of CG are looking dope.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've only read a few stories that I backed. Like Gary Shipman's Titan, Muttman and Macho Dan's Hero, Blood of Patriots, a couple other stuff, but I haven't read the stories on most of these books. Or I'm not in contact with people read the scripts and stuff like that. Some people have sent me some scripts because they want me to work on their things. And the thing is, I don't know how to judge a script. I'm an artist, you know. I don't know what a bad script or a good script looks like, so I wouldn't know how to judge that sort of thing. Like they tell me, hey, let me send you a script, right? And this is something I wrote before, so you can kind of judge whether or not I'm somebody you might want to work with. Right. And I got to hand it to somebody else because I don't know. I read books. I know when I like a book, you know. Right. I just don't know what good writing is. I just don't. So, like my story, I wrote it out and I handed it off to 3 different people to chop it up and make it good, you know.
I mean, the way I see it, you know, you ask yourself, do I like it? Do I enjoy it? Am I invested in these characters? Do I want them to survive? That's the way I look at it as to whether I think it's a good script.
Because the way I see it is like, if I'm reading it and I feel like somebody is telling me a story they really want to tell me, then I feel like, okay, this is something I want to pay attention to.
Yeah. Do you feel the passion behind it?
Right. Which is why I'm working on this book alone, essentially. Because I'm a nobody. I'm a newbie. I've never put a comic book out there before. So what I want them to see, and what's important, most important to me, is I want them to see what my vision is. This is how I would tell a story in its entirety. Like if you're going to sit down and listen to me tell you a story, this is how it's going to be. This is how I would frame it. This is how, when I'm telling you, the guy walks into a bar and sits down, this is the angle that I see it in my head. This is the coloring that I see in my head. You know what I mean? This is the way I tell stories. And that's why I wanted to make sure that this was my project alone. My vision solely, you know?
Yep.
So that's kind of why I really think it was important, especially when you do your first book, even if it has to be small, like even if you're not an artist, you know, just make sure that you really take the time to show people how you tell stories.
Yeah.
You know? So in the future, if they wanted to say, you know, I really feel like watching a Tarantino movie, you know, because I want to watch a movie like that. Well, I say I really want to read a Dillard comic because I like the way he tells comics. Hopefully, you know.
Oh yeah. Excuse me.
I'm rubbing my hands together down here. It's so cold. Oh yeah, he says I back projects that have an interesting story, good art, and a continuing story. Well, that's the thing. Like I think that everybody in the world has one great story to tell. Whether you're an artist or whether you're a writer, you usually have that one story that you've been holding on to that you really want to tell people about. You really want to let them know how it works. And for me, this is that story. Like I've been wanting to tell a story for probably about 2-3 years. Even the very first story that I remember I told you before that I kind of got into this thing because one of my buddies at work wanted to do a comic book. And it was about this guy who was like, you know, he had like ADHD and he had like bipolarism, and he would go to the bar and pick fights just because he was just that kind of an asshole, you know. And I wanted to take that story and transform it and make it relatable, not in the sense that I look like the Buckler or I live in Canada, but no, everything he goes through are really at the base level guy problems that deal with you as a man and the human condition, you know. Problems that we all have to go through. And I wanted to tell that story from the perspective of somebody who is not the hero. He's not the good guy. He's not the guy that's out there just earnestly trying to do his best. He's not. He's the villain.
Yeah, that's
tired of it, you know?
One of the things that makes yours unique. Your focus is on the villain, not the hero. And as you appropriately described it, it's a character study. And that's infinitely fascinating. I really dig it.
Right. Because I mean, the thing is, most people, whether we want to admit it or not, we have awful thoughts about people that we just never act on, you know? Buckler doesn't. He has that switch in his head is fried. So he thinks it and he does it immediately.
Yeah.
You know? He walks in like he's like, there's a scene in the book. It's a very small passing scene, but I wanted to make sure that it was just so when I drew it, because he's walking down the hallway and somebody's walking, ruffling some papers in their hands, some office building. They walk out, and this is something that we all go through as guys in high school, is a shoulder check, right?
Uh-huh.
You're walking by somebody you don't like, and you pop them with your shoulder as you're walking by, you know?
Yeah.
That's what the Buckler does, it because he's just full of spite. You know, he's angry. He has a one-track direction. He's headed forward. You just walked into his way. Get the out of the way, right?
Right.
I don't got time for your bullshit. Let me just let me shoulder check you. And of course, he's super powered, so the guy goes through the wall. You know?
Yeah. True.
So it's like, this is who he is, and I wanted to see whether or not I could write a compelling story about this guy who's a villain and does the wish fulfillment. You know, he goes out there and he shoulder checks people. You know, he cup checks them. He nut shots. You know, that kind of thing. He's an ass. You know, he's the big jerk that people you didn't like because he was a big jerk. You know, but he has problems, constant problems. But I really enjoyed the way, like in Stranger Things,
all right,
that the cop encounters these very cliche, very dad sitcom problems, but immediately handles them the way you wish that you could handle something. You know what I
mean? Yeah.
It's like, oh, I have to talk to my daughter about, not having the door closed when she's in her, a guy's in the house or something, and it's awkward, and I can knead my hands and talk about it for a while and fumble and bumble through the conversation, or I can tell her, you need to stop what you're doing. I'm taking this door off the hinge. You're not doing any of that shit, and let me go and threaten this kid that I'm going to murder him. You know what I mean? So
yeah, exactly. Eric says, yeah, CG expectations are high now. Welcome, Nefarious. Stand alone together. Eric says, I back projects that have an interesting story, good art, and a continuing story. I just don't want to be teased with one book.
Right. Well, that's why this book is book one.
Look at that cover, man. The art is fire.
Thank you.
Just judge a script by whether or not you want to draw what you read, bro.
Yeah, that's another thing, because I mean, there are stories out there that are actually pretty good. I've been sent a couple of scripts that are pretty good, but they're things like war and military.
Oh,
that I never had any interest in. So I was like, maybe not.
Right.
I don't really have any interest in drawing scenarios and sceneries of Kosovo and the Middle East and the Eastern Europe and stuff. It's not my bag. I want to do fantastic stories.
Yeah. Eric says that's a fun twist, focusing on the villain.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, you were asking me last time, like, how would I even make a sequel to a story with a villain? And that's how if we get to that 10K stretch goal, which I hope we do, I'm throwing in that other book, and the other book, The Temple of Polar Twilight, which is the style that I'm drawing in, that Batman the Animated Series style, that Bruce Timm.
Oh, yeah.
That story is all from the perspective of the heroes.
Oh,
it's not the same story at all. It's a story about him trying to get that magical totem. But he is barely in the book, kind of like Nightmare on Elm Street, where you barely get to see Freddy Krueger at all. The very first one. It's all essentially a monster's tale. They're all running. They're in terror. They're in fear because every time they slip up, the Buckler shows up and somebody gets eviscerated. Because he's trying to get at what they got.
Yep, for sure. Let's check out these perk tiers. Awesome, you got a feature tier. This one actually has the book and original interior art. Holy cow.
You're also, if you get that tier, you also do get the ash can. I forgot to put it, and somebody claimed it, and now I can't change it.
Yeah, the thing about Indiegogo is once at least one person claims a tier, then you have no way to edit it other than to hide that existing tier, make note of the backer, and what they got, and then create a new tier, but you have to also rename it slightly different because they can't share the same name. It's kind of challenging to make any kind of edits.
It is. And, you know, I think that's for the better because a lot of people might actually end up abusing that if you could do that. But,
yeah, that makes sense.
You know, it is what it is. We have to deal with limitations that we're given.
Yep. So you get the book, the ash can, and an original piece of interior art. How big is the interior art? Is it 11 by 17?
Yes, it is.
Nice. Nice. So you got 10 available. Well, actually 9 now.
Right.
Is all the rest done digitally?
Yes, it is. So these are the only physical pages. I kind of plucked out the ones from the script that I wrote that were going to be big, nice splash pages, actiony, or, you know, very things that express the character a lot, you know. So that's what's going to be those pages, those select pages.
Are any of the pages a double page spread?
No.
All right.
No, there is a double page spread on there, but it's digital.
Gotcha.
So I'm not, it was just there was too many moving parts. There's only 2 double page spreads in the book. Okay. One of them is actually on that campaign page. You can see it's the one where he's fighting on the pier and he's kind of coming up like this and he has his arms outstretched. I had to cut off his head. You know what? Let me show it to you. Let me share my screen. Actually, that'll be better.
Okay. All right.
Let me see here. Share screen. Clip Studio. Share. Okay, let me go find that's that Blue Phoenix I'm working on.
Oh man, that's good.
Let's see.
Yeah. When we had Gothic Arch on my show, and you shared that concept art, man, that was so cool. And this is freaking awesome. He's gonna flip when he sees this.
I hope so. I've been working diligently. Okay, so this is the one of the double page spreads.
Oh man!
Because this is there was too many moving parts. I tried doing it physical, and I kept messing it up. Like there's so many bodies, you know what I mean? But and then I had to, you know, the angle is really weird, so I kept drawing my grid lines and then having to erase on my paper, and everything became just a big mess.
Oh, gotcha.
But this is him fighting these civilians on the bridge. Throwing some people off of him. And then there's another double page spread that I have not done yet.
All right.
Now, I could do this physical, but it's more like it's not so much like an exhibition of great artwork. It's more of like it needs to be double pages for just the fact that it's an integral part of the story. And that's it's the very beginning of the book where he's chasing down Harrington, and Harrington's in that helicopter flying away across that span of ice water.
Uh-huh.
And the buckler finds out that you know, Harrington is going to be marrying his wife, his ex-wife. Mm-hmm. And he kind of like, you know, loses it a little bit, and he runs, and he's booking it towards the edge of this cliff, right? Uh-huh. And Harrington's already in the helicopter, and he's already about 100 yards over the water. And the buckler makes a jump to get to the helicopter. Yeah. And the scene is actually going to be shot from below, looking like at the surface of the water level, looking up at the cliff, and then the helicopter and the buckler trying to make that jump, that span. So it's not going to be, it's going to be far away. It's going to be small, right? But I want to show the distance that the buckler's attempting to make this jump. So it has to be a double page spread. So that's also going to be probably digital.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Nefarious is asking, if you were to compare Buckler to another comic character, who would you compare him to?
Okay. What I would compare him to is Doom mixed with Al Bundy from Married with Children. That's who he is.
Eric says, that is cool. If this campaign doesn't get to 10K, will you sell the totem book in your next one?
I think so. But what I might do is, because I also have another set of stories called Buckler Diaries. Just because I like to kind of skirt that line with doing things that are super sissy. Because the buckler just kind of like drips masculinity, right?
Uh-huh.
So I have to throw in things in there that make him look a little, light in the loafers. So he has like a diary that he writes his stuff in. And I might actually put it in because there's like a little compilation of a couple of different short stories of like buckler happenings.
Mm-hmm.
I might actually put it with that one. I'm not sure yet.
That would be kind of funny if
You want to see the cover for Buckler Diaries?
Yeah.
Let me go find it. Hold on.
All right. It would be kind of funny, like when you open the cover, it literally looks like you got the rings of the pages of the diary, or the lines.
Or you put it could be like a binder that says like, "Do not read this diary."
Yeah, and then and have a little lock on the outside of it, the tiny metal lock.
All right, here it is
with a key, and then cool. That's neat. I like it.
So it may actually end up being in there because I want this to be almost like a showcase. Because I have another guy named Tom DeWolf.
All right.
And he's writing a story.
Mm-hmm.
He's the one that's writing the novella for the Buckler, kind of his journey down in Brownsville, Texas.
Right.
When he kind of gets mixed up and becomes like a slave / enforcer for the mafia,
the
Mexican mafia. And he's down there doing a bunch of dirt and getting essentially getting trained up to be an efficient killer. So that's this guy actually has a story that he wrote, a really short one that I was like, oh, it's a really good, cool little short, concise story. And I was trying to find some way to use that, And I remember that I was in somebody's chat, and I was writing while I was in the chat just to kind of be a jerk, because that's what I am in the chat. What I was doing was I was writing out a story about the Buckler in the chat because I was telling him, your stream is so boring, I'm going to entertain people with a live writing of a story.
Damn.
And I told this story about this Buckler. It was just about a little happening, whatever. And I really liked it. So I went back and I went and screenshotted all of my comments and just saved the story in that way. And I'm going to put that in there too. But it's all going to be, illustrated.
Cool.
So I want it to be just a bunch of little cool, fun stories about the Buckler.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it would be funny if, and you do however works best for you, but I think it would be funny if you had like the lines that you write on, and it's in the Buckler's own handwriting.
That's what I was thinking about, because I thought like, okay, because I did this cover and I was like, well, I wanted it to look like one of those like almost like a school composition book.
Yes.
That like a shitty teenager would have.
Yeah.
And if you open it up, there'd be like a ring of coffee stain on one of the line pages.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just something like that would look cool.
Yeah, exactly. That's pretty sweet. I like it. That's cool. Thanks for sharing that.
Let me get rid of that.
Campaign. Nefarious says, yeah, if the book delivers even half as much as the art promises, I back another campaign for the other story.
Oh, perfect. That'd be great.
Lol, Al Bundy, the true American hero. Dear Diary, I disemboweled my ex-wife's husband today. I have never felt joy like this before.
No, but he does. The thing is, he doesn't want to kill Harrington, right? He actually, here's the thing. Like when we were spitballing ideas, me and my writer, or my editors, I wanted Harrington to be like, almost like the guy when you're going out with your buddies to go drinking or whatever, you go and you pick up your wife's husband, even though he's kind of a nerd.
Mm-hmm.
You want to include him in, your life. So you go and you pick him up, you get him way too drunk. He probably gets beat up, falls down, gets a cut in his head, and you take him back to your sister, and she's mad at you because you brought her husband back all beat up or something. That's the kind of relationship I wanted Harrington to have with the Buckler, right?
Right.
But you know, he hates him just for the fact that Harrington's such a good man. You know,
Yeah.
he's a good and responsible man, and that's why the buckler he wouldn't ever kill him because you know that's somebody now that his wife, his ex-wife, who the buckler does love.
Right.
That's somebody that she's chosen. That's somebody that his daughter knows. That's the guy that's essentially taking care of his family while he's away when him and his wife aren't getting along too well, you know. He wouldn't do that to his family because he cares too much about himself and his family.
Yeah, that's a cool dynamic. Loves that idea. Welcome, Matanui. You're late. Just kidding. The more I hear this story, the more I love it. Yeah, me too.
Well, it's, you know.
It's a trip. So we got the digital buckler. The buckler graphic novel, the print version for 30. Already 63 claim. That's really sweet.
Yeah.
The graphic novel plus the ash can plus art.
Yeah, that's an 8x10.
8x10. All right.
8x10 drawing of the buckler.
Sweet.
Like some people call it a sketch, but you know the way I draw. They're drawings, they're not sketches.
Yeah. And it's full body instead of just a portrait. That's kick-ass. And then you got the cover painting plus everything.
Right.
Let's see if I can do this carefully. All right. Whew. All right. So we've got it comes with a buckler graphic novel.
What? You didn't accidentally spend $2,000?
No, I mean, I didn't accidentally dox myself is what I was concerned about. That would be a trip, though. The lucky backer of this tier receives everything that... Wait, what's this? I before E, except after C. Just kidding on you.
I can't see it. I'll talk to my editors.
Everything the campaign has to offer, plus the beautiful 18x24 acrylic painting of the image that's used as a cover for this book.
Is that one right there?
That's pretty sweet. That is pretty sweet. Yeah, it's right there. Combination of acrylic paint, ink, and airbrush with over 60 hours of loving labor shipped to you. That is quite an epic tier. Butler graphic novel, original Ashcan, 8x10 Buckler sketch, and you know it's going to be detailed, full body. 11x17 original page art, and 18x24 cover acrylic painting. So actually, technically, there's a total of 11 original page arts. Because
one of them is this one back here, which is the one I'm saving. The one that if you get this tier, the one you're going to be getting is this one. No, that one right there. And that's the interior back inside cover. So it's not a page from the book itself.
All right.
Like from the sequential. It's not a sequential story page, but it's an original page from the book, the inside cover. That's the one right there where he has his hands up like this.
This one right here, right?
Yeah, this I don't know, you're looking at my screen right now. I'm full screen. I can't tell.
Oh yeah. All right.
That one back there.
Gotcha. At first I was thinking about this one.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
Okay. All right. And on that inside back cover, does it have all? It has all this lettering, right?
No.
Oh, it doesn't. Okay.
No, it's actually colored. You see it up on the campaign page.
All right.
If you scroll up, it's on the images underneath the video. It's been colored by one of my friends, Avery Butterworth. There it is.
Ah, all right. There we go.
And that's what's going to be the inside back cover, and it's going to have some stuff on it, but it's mainly going to be the picture, and that's the one that you'll be getting if you get that physical drawing. It'll be the one you get if you get the $2,000 tier.
Fantastic. That's pretty cool.
Oh, we went up.
That's what I was wondering.
Yeah, we did.
We
Thank
were
you
at
so much.
we were at 5,046, I think.
Yeah, let me check. We were at 5,000. I left the page. If I go back, it's going to show the new one. I can't tell where it went.
I think you might have gone up one backer.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Let's see here. Eric is asking, is the Buckler's child going to have powers?
Oh, no. No, the Buckler got his powers very... okay, have you seen the movie Kick-Ass?
Yeah. Oh, that was a fun movie.
Okay, so what happened to the Buckler, right? He didn't have any powers to begin with. And this was way back when he was still a good guy. When he used to patrol the streets and save cats from trees and stuff. What happened was there wasn't a lot of crime going on in Canada and Winnipeg. But when the Olympic Games came to Canada, there was also a lot of influx of people from Chicago that were selling a lot of anabolic steroids to the athletes, right? So what happened was the Buckler tried to actually shut this stuff down, but he was a nobody. He was just like you and me. He had no powers, and he ended up getting his ass whooped and thrown in the back of the van, and essentially kidnapped to go get murdered somewhere. But what happened was, he had called the police and all that. They ended up getting in a high-speed chase. The van goes over a bridge into the river, and the Buckler ends up sitting in this stew of anabolic steroids. And he gets rescued, but he's in a coma for like 3 months, and when he finally comes out of his coma, he has the strength of 3 men. That's how he gets his powers.
Eric says that's a gorgeous painting. I have to agree there. If the painting doesn't sell this campaign, will you put it up again in your next project?
Maybe. I'll likely frame it and just keep it in my studio. I don't know. Guys, I really like it. So I wouldn't mind keeping it.
Can't blame you there. Eric says, I'm selling some of my collection so I can buy more CG stuff. Wow.
Oh,
that's dedication.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I have a small collection, but they're not like valuable stuff. It's more like things that really influenced me.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have like number ones of Spawn and Creed. I have the like miniseries, the Sabretooth miniseries by Texiera.
Yeah.
Just then, a couple of Ninja Turtles. But things that just I really liked when I was younger, not like expensive stuff.
Right. Yeah. I have a lot that I just collected because I was interested in them. Mm-hmm. And most of them probably isn't worth much. I have like a decent run of the Transformers, decent run of G.I. Joe. I have Wolverine miniseries 1 through 4, some Silver Surfer, stuff like that. Dazzler. Let's see. Well, that has kind of a Toxic Avenger feel to it.
Yeah, a little bit. I did like Toxic Avenger.
Yeah.
But what it was like, he was sitting there in this van. He was trapped. He wasn't exactly underwater, but the van was half filled with water. He couldn't escape, and essentially ended up dying. He drowned and died, but he drowned in this soup of just anabolic and metabolic steroids. So this concoction together, gave him like permanent stiff ligaments. You know what I mean? Like remember that movie? What was it? Rookie of the Year, where that kid gets that stiff arm and he becomes like a super fast baseball pitcher.
Right.
It's kind of like that. Like everything in his body just hardened up. Like he just became very tough and resilient.
Right.
Very strong.
Exactly. So. All right. So. Yep, definitely back this book. It's a really good campaign, and you can see his passion for the art in all his details. So it's pretty epic. Oh my gosh. What?
Oh yeah, somebody just backed the digital tier.
Yeah, you got a second
Nice.
backer. Sweet.
Getting up there. Look at that. Thank you guys.
Huzzah. Two backers.
I gotta get that WyzGyz bump, man.
Yeah. Woohoo. Yeah, I'm still a small channel, but every little bit helps. And we want to get
Everybody knows you. What are you talking about?
we want to
Everywhere I go, they're like, yeah, I don't know who you are, but yeah, I know who WyzGyz is.
Oh my gosh, if only. Eric says, are the antlers that pop out of his back a result of the steroids too?
No, the antlers that pop out of his back are a result of the totem that he recovers at the beginning of the book. The one you see the Harrington carrying away. Those antlers come out of his back, and they come out of his back pretty violently. Like they actually break his ribs in the back area, to come out and all that stuff.
Ouch.
It's an ordeal to go through for him. But because of the influx of power when it happens, which is essentially makes him almost like, very, very strong. He doesn't feel a thing afterwards. As soon as they come out, he's in great pain. But when they go back away, his body is still left a mangled mess.
Right.
He has big gaping open wounds on his back that take months to heal up.
Oh man. Oh dear.
And it's only because he has the ability, the strength of 3 men, that he can actually survive that kind of antler body manipulation.
He's got to have some kind of like healing powers like Wolverine.
A little bit. He has the healing strength of about 3 times the healing of a normal person. Everything is just amped up by 3.
Gotcha.
It takes you a day or 2 for like a cut in your mouth to go away.
Right.
It takes him a few hours. It'll go away.
Right.
Yeah, there's the WyzGyz bump. Trademark and copyright. I am going to give you the floor. Share with the world how you can be found on social media.
Yeah, if you have any more questions for me, or you like the cut of my jib, the sound of my voice, you want to come and hang out, you can find me on my channel on YouTube. You can also find me on Twitter. Both are under Dillard Draws. That's Dillard. Dillard Draws. Like with a pencil.
Nice. I was just gonna pull it up real quick on YouTube.
And yeah, if you guys would please consider sharing out the buckler. If you can't back or you think the campaign has merit, share it out. That's probably the most important thing. When people see, you see, I do live streams, I do videos, and we're also bringing back Scribbattle next month. Now, Scribbattle is super fun. You should join us, WyzGyz.
So it's about Scrabble?
It's essentially, Skrillio.
Skrillio.
Yeah.
Is there anything like Pictionary?
Yes. It's essentially what we do is we get a bunch of people that have like drawing pads or whatever.
All right.
And we all give each other prompts. And we have themes like anime, DC, Marvel Cinematic Universe, Disney, Pokemon, whatever. And we all give each other a big list behind the scenes. And we all tell each other, okay, I'm going to be doing number 17. And the people in the chat have to guess what we're drawing as we're drawing it.
Oh, man. That sounds like so much fun.
Yeah, it's really fun. And what happens after we do a couple episodes, whoever has like the highest overall score from the chat, we send them like a piece of artwork or something.
Oh, my gosh. What a trip. That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's a really fun show.
Yeah. I don't have a current tablet, though. I've got a...
Oh, and also we have like my buddy Rick. He doesn't have one either. And he just puts the camera on the table and we just doodle. But the thing is, you got to get these drawings done in 1 minute.
1 minute. 1 minute. Ooh. That's...
So it kind of separates the boys from the men in the art world.
Yeah.
And also, like, it doesn't really matter if you can draw or not. I mean, people that are not artists usually do much better than artists because artists try to like actually do foundation lines and stuff like that, and it does not work. You got 1 minute, dude. You got to figure it out.
Oh my gosh, that sounds like a blast. I'll have to see if I can rig my setup here to accommodate. Your buddy who does the dueling with the camera down on it, is he doing it on like traditional, basically on a pad of paper or something?
Yeah, he's doing it on essentially computer paper and a marker.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, people can do stick figures. You guys got to get it done as fast as you can, you know?
You
can do stick figures, whatever gets the point across. Even if you want to do it like what do you call that? Charades.
All right.
Like if you're trying to draw the Lion King or Simba or something, I mean, you draw a crown for king. You know, it doesn't have to be a picture of Mufasa. You know,
right?
Just, as long as the people in the chat can guess what you're drawing.
No.
The thing is, it's not the artist that win or lose; it's the chat. It's whoever gets it first, second, and third. They all get points. First person to guess it correct gets 3 points. Second person to guess it correct gets 2 points. Third person gets 1 point.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, I'll have to check that out. It sounds like a blast.
And also, if you go to if you click on the videos on my channel there, if you scroll down a bit, you'll see something that says Core Comics. There you go, right there. The ones that have the little emblems next to them, those are like, go to the one that has a picture of me and a guy in the green shirt.
This one here, it's a great skit, episode 3.
No. Go one more up.
Oh, one more up,
and all the way second to the end.
Episode 4 here.
Yeah, like if you click on that, you don't have to play like the sound or anything. But this is like, I also do little cartoony skits with the people that come on my show. Like we do live streams, and sometimes I'll cut the audio, and we'll just I'll animate little skits from our show and stuff like that. So,
oh my gosh, damn!
So that's what we do on my channel.
How cool is that?
So that's my buddy Mallet CNC Works, and also my buddy the Metal in the very back right there, hanging out next to the spinner rack.
All right. Yeah. Oh man, what fun. How cool is that? Yeah, so I dropped the link to his YouTube in the chat. Everybody go subscribe to him. Stick figures and hand turkeys. Oh, you do hand turkeys too. So you're in competition with Shay.
So you can draw hand turkeys on Script Battle instead of drawing actual things.
Yeah. Sounds so fun. Oh, that is cool. Awesome. All right. Yeah, so you can find me on Facebook and YouTube under WyzGyz Entertainment. You can find me on Twitch under the same, and Twitter under WyzGyz Tweets. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Drop your notes in the bottom of the stream. Let us know what you're most excited about the buckler. And and when you mark the bell for notifications, make sure you set it to all notifications, so we make sure you don't miss a single video or stream, at least hopefully. Eric says, "Lol, that is cool." I want to thank everyone in chat for joining us. You guys are awesome. Thanks for your continued support. Thanks to everyone who watches this on replay. Thanks to our very special guest, John Dillard.
That's me.
Let's close this out.
Final guest that is the only person below White Holiday in the ComicsGate phone book. It's my favorite failed clone of Peter Sameti. The YouTube sensation. WyzGyz. How you doing, Conrad? Welcome to the show.